Here's an environmental story. Hundreds of fish have washed up dead on the shores of one of Europe's largest saltwater lagoons, sparking protests from residents over deteriorating environmental conditions and pushing local prosecutors to open an investigation. While the regional government blamed the deaths at the Mar Menor lagoon in Murcia on recent high temperatures, ecologists have warned for years that runoff from nearby agricultural facilities and pollution from urban development has severely degraded the water quality. On Thursday, local residents protested at the lake, demanding solutions from the government to save their lagoon. And for more on this, we're joined by Juantxo López de Uralde, the chair of Alianza Verde and member of the Spanish Parliament for the Podemos party. Thank you very much for coming on the show. What more can you tell us about this really outstanding event, one may say, of all these fish who washed up dead on the shores of Murcia?
Yeah, it's already around 7 days in which dead fish are appearing all around the edges of the lagoon. This is a consequence, a very bad consequence of the discharge coming from agricultural, for intensive agriculture on the source of the Mar Menor, and it is causing really a big devastation on the environment of the area. It is very scary what's going on, because Mar Menor is a little bit like a little Mediterranean, we can say. So what we are watching these days in this internal lagoon, in this Mar Menor, is what we may expect in the future in the Mediterranean Sea if we don't change our attitude towards the marine environment.
And next week is a Global Water Week. What do you expect to be talked about there? I assume this subject will come up.
Well, hopefully this whole problem of toxic discharges, in this case coming from intensive agricultural practices, mainly nitrogen and phosphates, as well as climate change, which is causing deep environmental problems and deep problems in the water scarcity, at least in Spain, in which water is a very scarce resource. Climate change is causing even a bigger problem. And in the case of the Mar Menor, it is the cause of the increase of the temperature of the lagoon, which is as well one of the reasons why it is deteriorated. But this particular event of the dead fish all around the area is due to the discharges, I say the toxic discharges coming from unsustainable agricultural practices.
Right, and of course, to find a solution to this, it requires help not just from the Spanish government, where I'm sure you're involved in looking for solutions, but it requires cooperation with a lot of different countries, and that's always difficult because each country has its own procedure and its own sort of interests in how to deal with this. How do you sort of create a coalition among European nations when it comes to the Mediterranean that can actually solve this and get things done?
Well, as I say, what is happening in the Mar Menor, in this big lagoon in the Spanish coast, is what may happen in the future in the Mediterranean Sea if we don't really take care of our marine environment. Therefore, we need the cooperation of all the countries around the Mediterranean, not only European, but all the countries around the Mediterranean, to really tackle the problem of discharges, the problem of toxic waste, the problems of dumping, as well as, of course, as the impact of climate change on our sea. It must be reminded that the Mediterranean Sea is the one sea in the world which is warming faster, quicker than the others. It's the number one in terms of warming, and this is a very bad sign. It's a sign of alarm, and what is happening in the Mar Menor, I would say it's a sign of alarm of what's going on our marine environment.
All right, Juantxo López de Uralde, chair of the Alianza Verde, the Green Alliance, and parliamentarian for Podemos. Thank you very much for talking about this important subject.
Thank you very much.